Good morning, everyone. This is Noah Gutierrez with Diversified Product, coming to you today to talk about the LineWise swing gate wire holder. We have this new wire holder that we're offering on our products, and not just our products, but other products out in the industry already as well. And so today we're coming to you a little bit differently. If you happen to see this video already yesterday, you already know the story, but I've been working from home for the past 3 weeks due to a surgery that I had, and Dave is working from home as well. And so this week is a little bit different for our first webinar of the year, but we have reached out and reached some other people to help us get this done in the office today. And so, again, things a little bit different from what you're used to seeing. Usually you see Dave and me in front of the LineWise background, but today will be a little bit different. So we've brought on Jason Stuck, who is the original designer of the swing gate wire holder for LineWise. And he will be demonstrating the wire holders for us today there at the office. And so, again, a little bit different, but again, first webinar of the year, and we didn't want to let it go. And so we wanted to, or we didn't want to push it back, I should say. So we wanted to jump in as quickly as possible and to get these webinars done. As you know, we do these every 3 weeks. And the next one that we'll be doing is about 3 weeks from today or yesterday. And so be looking on your calendar, be looking on your emails for the next opportunity to see the next product that we'll be demonstrating on these LineWise webinars. And so without taking any more time, we're going to go ahead and move the camera over to Jason Stuck, who is there in the conference room there with the LineWise swing gate wire holders. And so he's going to dive into this for us and explain this to us. And then if you have any questions, I'm asking that you hold those off to the end so that this way we can get through this demonstration. Unless you just got a question that's you're really itching to ask, you have to ask it right away. I'm asking you hold off to the end. That would keep all questions at the end here, okay? Or any other comments that you might have. And so without taking any more time, Jason Stuck, thank you very much for taking the time out of your schedule to do this presentation for us. And we're going to give the floor over to you.
Thanks, Noah, for having me. First off, we're going to go over our swing gate wire holder, our smaller one, the 500. The bottom is 500, or you can put it on the sides as 500. This one also has a gate load of 200. So if you're in a vertical construction, you can still load the gate. The current wire holder on the market, you cannot load the gate at all. It has a 0 load rate. Our wire holder actually comes with all aluminum rollers. The current one actually comes with a plastic roller. So why we go with aluminum is so you don't have any flash over, you have the same potential as any of the wire you're using. The wire holder actually can open using a hot stick or by hand. You can open it with both gates simultaneously. Or you can open up everyone individually. It can be operated by hand or hot stick. And it has 2 gates for redundancy. These gates are side swinging. That way, when they're closed, they're actually locked under the main body of the wire holder. That's what gives it its strength. So with the wire holder open, you come and capture the wire, and using our TLO series of wire holders or phase lifters. If you're doing a horizontal to vertical construction, you can capture all 3 lines, and while still captured, actually roll the whole line over and still have a loading. And this is our larger wire holder over here. It's our swing gate wire holder 2500. This is also the only one on the market that you can load the gate. It's similar opening. You can open it by hot stick or by hand, or you can open everyone individually. And you can roll this line from vertical to horizontal while the line is captured. Rollers on all sides to protect the line for any incidental movement. And also all aluminum rollers. The current one on the market, as demonstrated here, as a gravity gate, you have a 2,500 pound downward load. It does have steel rollers on both the sides, but no roller on the top, and it's a gravity gate. So if it's in a vertical configuration, you cannot load this gate at all. And depending on which way it's oriented and where to roll over, the gate can incidentally open on its own, which could cause the loss of the wire. This is such a new design from what's currently in the market. Both of these wire holders are actually a patent pending right now.
Very good. Have you shown the larger one or the smaller one with the gates opening up and how they open up using those links there?
Yeah, so you have the latches right here. You can put a hot stick or just grab it by hand. Or you can come to each end and either grab it or put a hot stick in there.
So that's the 500 model. And then how about the 2500 there?
Same concept, has a double latch. Again, open it by hot stick or by hand or individually.
Very good.
And the smaller competitor right here has a single latch that you just grab by the hot stick or by hand.
Very good. Good stuff. Anything else, Jason, there that you want to mention?
We do have these in stock. We have over 50 of the larger one and a smaller quantity of the smaller one right now.
Gotcha. I do know, FYI, in a meeting this morning, I saw we're on the smaller ones. We had ordered a large quantity of those. So they probably just haven't hit the floor yet, but there should be many more on the way. I say many more, for us it's many more. I wanted to say it was about 40 or 50 of those things that were ordered. But just FYI, that's something I just recently learned this morning.
Another thing I forgot to mention, all these parts are made in America. The materials may be sourced globally, but all this machining is done in Texas. The casting is done in Ohio. So we don't have to worry about the supply chain breakdown of international
That's a good point. I forgot to mention that earlier. Thank you for bringing that up. One of the biggest things that we've heard from distributors of other wire holders in the market today is it takes months to get those wire holders. In fact, when we used to use those other wire holders a lot, distributors that were signed up with those companies were calling us to supply them with wire holders because we bought them in advance and stocked them because we needed them for our equipment. But a lot of our products, mostly the triple line lifters, have started out with using these new wire holders, and they're starting to be used with some of our other products as well, such as the hydraulic line lifter, which we call an HLL, the initials of the hydraulic line lifter. It'll be the first ones coming out with this wire holder. First hydraulic line lifters coming out with this wire holder or this type of wire holder this March or April, I believe, when that order is going out. The swing gate wire holder, which we call SGWH 2500, was first developed and used with the TLL 2000 Series 3, which is one of our newer triple line lifters that we have, because the application that they were needing it for was picking up 3 phases off of an 8 structure and then rolling it over like Jason was showing in the video. And so we had to come up with something that had a load rating on the gate. And Jason and the team were able to come up with that wire holder to make that work for our customer and for us. Another application where the SGWH 2500 is currently being used is on the another custom order that we have for the material handling jibs on bucket trucks. So this is where we have the different bases on these wire holders to be able to change those out to be used for multiple configurations. So Jason there would be able to design a different base for one of those wire holders to be able to use it with a material handling jib on a bucket truck. And one application that we're doing with a customer up in the Northeast is we placed a piece of tubing on the bottom of the SGWH 2500 and some bearings, right, Jason, to be able to allow that to rotate around. So this
Correct.
way, when they, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, all we did is this black base right here, which is our quick attach base for our TLO series. We just unbolt this with a different base, and you can have a full rotation. So it can actually be a direct replacement for the larger one that actually comes with the bearings and the larger.
Very good. Yes, because what they were trying to do was pick up the conductor with the material handling jib using the wire holder and then rotate the bucket truck out away from the structure. And if it didn't have a feature that allowed the roller to be able to rotate, then it would put the conductor in a bind. And so here with this wire holder and the rotational feature that Jason and the team can design into it and have for this particular customer, then it allows the roller to rotate in place while the bucket truck is pulling the conductor out towards the side to create clearance for the lineman. So again, just because we're using it on the triple line lifters and the hydraulic line lifters and the material handling jibs now, there may be other applications for it that we haven't discovered yet, but we're wanting to hear from everyone as to different options or different requests that they have to see if Jason and the team can use these wire holders and other applications. And we don't want to forget our good friend and fellow employee, Dave Packybush, who is on the call today. Dave, is there anything that Jason and I haven't covered that you think we need to share with everyone today?
Just on the application for the utility handling jib or material handling jib, one of the things would be for a floating conductor. So you could latch onto that floating conductor and bring it back down to the insulator with a loaded gate that we have on this. And also, if you have this, have a conductor locked into this swing gate wire holder, and something should happen that should induce some movement unintended movement, like a galloping conductor or something, you've got a rated gate that you could take some load with and not damage the conductor or lose positive control of that conductor. So could be a good safety enhancement for your material handling jibs.
Very good.
Another thing I forgot to mention, this small swing gate wire holder 500 is a direct replacement for the current one in the market. Current one in the market has a threaded bottom right here. We've actually incorporated that into our design right here.
Gotcha. The other thing I wanted to say, Jason, thank you for showing the other way to rotate that one wire holder there, because the one to your right, because what had happened was I realized after the call yesterday that gate goes in the wrong direction when rotating it over. You know, it opens up on you. And I thought about that after the webinar we did yesterday, that when you turn it to the side, the gate will open up if you go to a vertical configuration on the structure. And that is definitely what we don't want on our products whenever you go to rotate it that way. And it's because it's a gravity gate, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's worked like that for many, many years. But when you're working with our products, rotating conductors from horizontal to vertical, it could create a pretty big issue, because now you have an open wire holder with a conductor sitting inside of it. And so with the swing gate wire holder, both versions that we have there, the 500 and the 2500, by the way, those are the ratings, right? So 2,500 pounds for the 2500 version and 500 pounds for the 500 version.
Yeah, so the larger one right here,
yes,
it has 2,500 on the downward load towards the base, 2,500 per side, and 500 per the gate.
that's correct.
And these have positive locks on both gates. And if one gate were to open incidentally, these gates are loaded for 500 each. So it's still a 500 pounds per the gate load. But we have that safety factor in just in case one gate opens, you still have that load rating on the gate.
That's right. Now, the gate should never, or was never intended to have a full load, or the gate should not be loaded. However, because of the way that we're using it, but we wanted to load or have a load rated gate, because in some points of the rotating feature of rotating the triple line lifters over or the conductors over, there's always the possibility of that conductor coming up and touching on that gate or hitting that gate. And when that happens, we wanted to make sure that it was locked in place. It's not intended for you to hang the wire holder upside down to be able to support load or anything like that. It was intended to be able to have that safety feature in there to keep that from happening. And then, as Jason may have mentioned earlier, but I might have missed it, is the safety factors that go into these wire holders. We don't like to advertise it too much, because you know that people will could go overboard with it, but they are tested above and beyond their rated load, and these were tested. Correct, Jason?
Correct. We tested for actually over the standard NC factor.
Very good. So everything is load tested from our facility to make sure that it can withstand that load, the test loads that we do. And we are confident in these products, and this is why we're taking them to market. The swing gate wire holder model 2500 is on the 2000 series 3s as a standard wire holder. The 1300s can be upgraded to have that same wire holder with a different adapter. The smaller one, the 500 model, can be used on the triple line lifters or any product that we offer that is 500 pounds capacity and lower. And on that one, the gate itself is rated at how much, Jason?
200 pounds.
200 pounds on the smaller 500 model there. Guys, before we open up the floor to any questions or comments, is there anything else that you'd like to mention? Okay. Well, that being said, I saw something come in on the chat from Max Potter. And what he is asking is, how is this mounted and what pieces would be able to mount this on? I think we kind of covered that since that question came in earlier. I saw it pop up, but I was waiting on now to bring it up. I didn't read it to this very moment, but I believe we've answered that. The black piece that Jason was pointing out on the bottom of the 2500 can be changed out to something different. For example, on the 1300, there's a different piece of that allows that to mount. Isn't that right, Jason? Or is there something I'm missing there?
No, this black piece that's down here, I know it's kind of hard to see at the black background. Right now it's with the 75,000 and the TLL 2500 base. We would just change this out to a 1300 base, and it could attach to 1300, or we could change it out with a rotational base, and it could be a direct replacement for the larger one.
Very good.
The smaller one, like I was showing earlier, the existing wire holder has a single threaded hole. We incorporate that into our design. We can also mount it in we don't like to have a single threaded hole to hold that, so we actually use 2 bolts. So any of these that we've actually sold and modified ourselves, we can directly replace it with the smaller one.
So any of the sales guys that are on the call today, keep in mind that swing gate wire holder 500 can be used on any one of the other locations or other products in the field today that are using the wire holder that's currently on the market. And we have a rated gate where the other one does not. And like Jason said earlier, we use aluminum rollers where the other one uses plastic rollers. So this will open up the market for you to be able to sell more wire holders. As usual with the LineWise products, keep in mind that we're not as big as the other product manufacturers out there in the industry today, or at least not yet. And so we do not manufacture as many at a time to get big discounts like the others do. But that's to say our wire holder is going to cost more because of the smaller quantities that we order, but we're going to deliver a lot faster than what you're getting on the current wire holder on the market today. Any other questions or comments at this time?
Hey, it's Jason Cathcart from LineStar here, guys.
Hey, Jason. Good morning.
Hey, morning. Question. So when moving forward with new TLLs, are these automatically coming on, or do we have to specifically request to have them put on?
Jason, I'm not sure what you're doing on the drawings. I know in some meetings I have requested it to be on there going forward. Is that something that you're aware of?
I know with
Jason
the
stuff, sorry.
TLL 2000, these are standard product for that. I don't think we've updated the TLL 2500 or the 1300 to have this as a standard product.
Okay.
Fair enough, but if we wanted to, we could ask for it. Okay, good.
Yes, I think you could ask for it for now going forward. I do believe that, and don't quote me on this just yet, but I do believe that we're going to change all of those out to start using these wire holders as a standard going forward. One, because we can get them a lot faster than what's on the market today. And then two, at least now we have the rated gate. So I'll be learning more about that as we go along with it on the other products. It's just that there's so many different triple line lifters that we have compared to what we used to do. And so we're still trying to figure all that out. But I do believe, I'm about 99% sure that every one of the triple line lifters that have a 500-pound rating or less will have the new LineWise swing gate wire holder on them. So anyhow, that's something that we're working on and moving forward with. But be aware of it. Jason Cathcart, as you place orders. If that's something that you think your customer might want, or at least share it with your customer, if that's something that they want, we could at least get that on the sales orders for now until that final decision is made.
Yeah, love the product. Awesome. Thanks, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns? That was a good question, Jason Cathcart.
Hey, Noah, when are we going to have brochures?
I think Heather is working on that now. I'm not sure when we'll have printed copies. I would imagine the website will be updated faster than anything else. Heather, if you can hear me, do you know about when that might be? I hate to bring you on the webinar. I know you don't like that, but I'm asking for some input here.
Yeah, no problem, Noah. I've been working on the website this morning, and my plan is to have the website updated this week. As far as brochures go, I think I need a little bit more content and specifications to have the brochure be complete. And so once a few people get back in the office, we can get those numbers and I can put that together.
Sounds good. Would it be feasible to say maybe 2 weeks on the wire order, considering sales guys don't slow you down?
Yes, I think that's fair.
Okay, cool. All right, so there goes the answer on the brochures, Dave. Couple of weeks, and if you stay on me, Dave, I'll make sure I get my answers into Heather as she asks for information. So everyone knows Heather is real good at getting us the information we need. It's a matter of or brochures completed. It's a matter of me many times getting back to her, and that's my fault. But she is working on that. But I would say, the next couple of weeks, you should see more. You'll see more content on the website about these wire orders.
Noah, just to bring up a question that was asked the previous webinar. These wire holders are not designed to string lines. Yes, they have rollers on all sides, but that is to keep for incidental movement and actually to protect the wires, so you don't create any hot spots or damage to the wires.
Very good. I'm glad you remembered that. Sometimes, and you'd be surprised in the sales office or sales calls that we get, there are many times that people call about triple line lifters in general, just talking about them being used for stringing new lines. And it's like, no, they're not designed for stringing new lines. They're just for supporting the lines of the structures, right? So they're going to be using these to pick the lines up and support them while insulators are being changed out, while structures are being changed out. And keep in mind, we're not just I've heard this a lot lately, where many times our products are perceived to only be used with energized power lines. And a lot of times they are, but they don't have to be just energized power lines. They can be de-energized power lines. It's a lot faster to pick up 3 lines using a triple line lifter or one of our products than it is to go out there using traditional methods. I understand there are people out there that are used to doing it the old way, but just because it's always been done that way doesn't mean that there's not something newer and better in the market today. And we have plenty of testimony from users today about how much they're able to get done and how fast they're able to get it done. So keep that in mind. And I don't want to talk about triple line lifters today, but that's where the wire holders started off at. So any other questions, comments, concerns before we end this webinar today?
Yeah, see, Max has another one. He says the spec sheet brochure is available today. Heather's working on launching it on the website. So that should be this week. And then, like I say, it should be a couple of weeks before the full brochure is out and available. But like I say, Heather's promised by the end of the week, we'll have it on the website.
Very good. Thank you, Max. Max said thanks. Thank you, Max, for joining the call today. Something after the call yesterday, I talked to a few of the sales guys that called in asking questions. Keep in mind that just because we did the webinar live yesterday and today doesn't mean you don't have access to it. As soon as the webinar was over yesterday, that one was available on YouTube. Just go on there and search Swing Gate Wire Holder and it should pop up. And you can use this information in the meantime to go and share with others. And as always, before the brochure comes out, if you have any other questions, or even after the brochure comes out, you always have access to Dave Packerbush and myself and Samantha Aguilar, who primarily cover the LineWise product line here internally, to get you any information or answers that you may have to any questions. So don't let that keep you from moving forward. I've often said we've sold products before they've ever been designed. So in this case, the product's designed and it's being built and it's being used, but we're lacking on the sales information and as far as brochures and things like that. But we will get that to you. And again, that's due to my fault, not moving fast enough to work with Heather to get that out. But we will get that taken care of and get this information out there. So we're at about our 30-minute time frame for the webinar. I'm going to give one more opportunity for questions, comments, concerns. Okay, great. Well, we thank you for joining us today, and I want to thank our special guest today, Jason Stuck, for doing the presentation for us. Jason is a man that is not afraid to take on different tasks, and he did this one in our absence of Dave and me in the office this week. And at IQ, he was the digger derrick operator, the crane operator. He also put stuff on the end of, or products on the end of the cranes and the digger derricks. He assembles products on the floor when needed. He'll do whatever it takes. And I want to thank you again, Jason, for helping us out in the office today and doing this presentation. Again, in 3 weeks, be looking for the next one that we're doing as far as a product that we're going to be demonstrating. Those invitations and the new product the product that we will be presenting will be coming out here in the next week. So you know what to be expecting in the next 3 weeks as to what we're going to be presenting next. But thank you for taking the time out of your schedules to view this webinar, and go on the website at line-wise.com to look and see what other products we have to offer to help you to work faster and safer going further down the line. So thank you again. Have a great weekend, and we will see you in 3 weeks. Take care.